Hi, I'm Julie Dawson, and this is my case study for EDL 856. Problem identification and analysis. What do we know from the case study? There is little to no parent involvement at the school. There is little to no community involvement. There are presently no parent organizations. There was a concern expressed to the principal about the lack of involvement. The principal felt he had it under control without parent and community involvement. The principal already knew their views on the involvement, so he believed. A change was made, however, and a parent meeting was held to determine interest in becoming part of the school. And after a poor showing at the meeting, the principal wanted to not hold that meeting. What do we need to know? We need to know why there is a lack of involvement. What are some of the characteristics of the community? Who are our parents? How we can approach involvement? Who are the community members or parents that are strong? Who will be our challenges to involvement? What do we want involvement to look like? How we are going to communicate our want for community involvement? And how are we going to show that involvement is important? So what's the problem? I feel that the problem is actually a two-pronged problem. Not only are community members and parents missing in the school, but also the principal is not making any large efforts towards getting their involvement. An action plan. My action plan includes 3 steps. First, we are going to investigate, get to know the community and parents. Then, we're going to communicate with those people in our community that we truly want them and welcome them into our schools. And finally, we're going to organize a committee that will work with the movers and shakers of the parents and community and develop a plan that will be black and white and something we can all follow. Strategies of my plan. The investigation. We're going to look into the types of employment of our parents. That can have a huge impact on how much they can be involved at school. Shift workers might be on at night and not off during the day. They may be working during the day and off at night. We also have single family homes where maybe the mother and or father works all the time, and so they're less able to be around at the school. And then we also may have parents that are stay-at-home moms and stay-at-home dads that can be truly highly involved in the school. Next, we need to look into the native language and beliefs. Maybe there are some barriers there. Some belief systems do not hold education very high in their list of values. Others hold education much higher. So we need to know who we're talking with. And then we need to look into the resources and funds available for the different programs and the ways we want the community and parents to be involved. Next, in my communicate phase, we're going to find the movers and doers in the school and the community to be founding partners. We also want to get word out to parents more than once in more than one way that the opportunity to be involved is there, and by providing the communication in multiple means and multiple ways might give us a chance of a higher involvement rate. Community work. With the founding group, make a plan that is very black and white. People are much more willing to help if they know exactly what their help will entail. Solution. What was best for the students? The connection to their community and parent involvement shows interest in school. Those are 2 very key factors. If the students see that education is important outside of the school building, then they might be more willing to take their education more seriously and become better academic minded. We also gain a whole bunch of role models for these students, people that they can inspire to be. We make those real life connections on how education and work may actually intertwine. The school will be supported outside of the building, and relationships are built not only with our students and the community, but also as the teaching staff and the school staff and the community. Facts for the solution. There was some interest in the school involvement from the meeting that the principal and the assistant principal did hold after a few weeks of a few weeks of planning. The principal was open to the idea of community involvement at the school, and the principal could be willing to let this be your project so you could really take it and run with it. Thoughts, feelings, and values. My first thought was someone has something to hide if they don't want outside involvement. They feel that the community does not want to be involved. Well, they truly might. They've just may never have been asked. So I think there's something hiding there. My feelings were that the school is missing such an untapped resource, its community. The community holds so many valuable things for these students. It only could better the school if the community was actually involved. And my values tell me that there needs to be an open and working relationship with the community and parents. They are the ones who know these kids. They're the ones these kids go home to. These are the people these kids go and work for. So we need to start fostering that relationship as soon as we can. Unresolved issues. My first thought is, how much is the principal really supporting this idea? Since he was against it from the beginning, and then a couple of weeks later decided to have this parent meeting, his true intentions really leave me uneasy. Then, if this will actually grow beyond the core group. We had that small interest of 8 parents, and so I really wonder if it will grow to be bigger than that, or if it will just be these 8 parents. And then what problems might be uncovered once this whole process starts rolling. Like I said, with my thoughts and feelings, there might be something that was hidden there, and so that's why community and parent involvement has been lacking. How did you, as a building administrator, collaborate with families and community members to contribute to school success? Getting to know the population and working with those groups provides resources for students to better their understanding of academics. What a better way to study human anatomy than have a doctor come in and talk to you, or talking about community government and the mayor speaks to the class. Those bring in those real life connections, those engaging techniques, and gives the kids someone to ask all those really hard questions that they may not even get to ask because we don't get to get into a subject that deep. How did you, as a building administrator, respond to the diverse needs and interests of the community on an ongoing basis? By holding multiple meetings and getting to know the barriers allows you to be flexible and gives you a chance for higher involvement rate. Communication, like I said, is the key point. If they know there is a need for help, then they are more likely to step up to the plate. Communication, just one letter sent home a week in advance, who knows if that letter really got there? So we really need to communicate in more ways to make sure parents are more aware of the desire for want of involvement and the need for it. How did you, as a building administrator, mobilize community resources to address and help solve problems in a way that supports the school? Creating a group of people from both the school and the community will bring in new light and the foundations of the need of the school. Students will gain from the experiences of the community members, and the teacher will have new ways to engage students in class. Building these relationships, getting these new hands-on ways to look at things really brings the kids into their learning. They even might find their passion when someone with a job comes in and talks to them about their career and how this class helped them. They may truly find something that they want to pursue, and it might help all the kids become more academically minded and maybe challenge themselves even more to learn more about certain subjects. This was my reflection and view of this case study for Standard 4 and how important community and parent involvement is in the school.